Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Uh, it's been a minute, but welcome to Keith's Boxing Gym Talk, man. It's been a minute. I think it's been about 6, 7 weeks since I last posted my last video. It's going through a couple things, couple changes. Job I was working, a couple funerals I had to go to. Had to reevaluate some things, though, man. Um, Yeah, man, this covering boxing and this YouTube and stuff like that, man, it's a lot more than what people think. You got to get these foreign names right. The dates sometimes I forget and stuff, and then I have to restart it all over the video again and stuff. Uh, I put it on the back burner, but this is something that I really want to do. I think I have a great knowledge for boxing, and so I had to get that fire back lifted up under me, man. And so now I'm back. So, man, before we get into some things, man, I would like you guys to like and subscribe again. Like and subscribe and comment, please, man. It would mean a lot to me, man. It's a lot to cover, but it's just with me being my first video back. I want to talk about some things that the highlights of what's been going on the past few weeks. Boots Ennis, he's now the lineal in the ring welterweight champion of the world, unified, matter of fact, IBF in the WBA. He had a dominant win. I think it was 6 rounds with Stayonis. I didn't expect it to be that one-sided, but he did his thing, man. Boots Ennis is gifted. He's just naturally gifted. He's fast. His reflexes, his counterpunching abilities and stuff like that, man. He's going to be a problem for the welterweight division. I think he beats everybody in the welterweight division, but there's one man in the welterweight division that I really like seeing. I think he would give him a bang for his buck, man, and that's Brian Norman Jr., man. Brian Norman Jr., he's had a hell of a year. He beat Giovanni Silatin. I think that's his name again. Like I said, these foreign names. But I think he was the underdog in that fight, and it was in his hometown of San Diego, in Giovanni's backyard. And he bloodied him, and he had his guard up. He gets hits a lot too, but he does keep his guard up, and he counters a lot and stuff like that. And his uppercuts are monstrous, and he put Giovanni down, and the referee stopped the fight. In his most recent fight a few weeks ago, he fought Derek Cuevas, I think his name is, got him out of there in 3 rounds. That man didn't want no more of his power. I would love to see those two unify the belt. Mario Barrios, he's the WBC welterweight champion of the world, but at the same time, though, man, he struggled in his last fight. His defense is not all that good. It's not top tier, and I really do like Mario Barrios. He lost his belt at 140 to Tank Davis. Then he moved up to welterweight. He fought Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman dominated him, and it looked like it was towards like the end for him. I'm not going to say the end of his career, but the end of his, his title run and stuff. But he ended up getting a title shot, and he got the WBC championship belt. All the belts that, that Crawford had vacated, some of them were given to him because they were interim champions, so the belts were given to him. I think most of the champions that's champions now, yeah, most of them, they were interim champions, and they got elevated up to, to the regular champion or whatever you want, whatever that may be. So, man, it's just the fight I want to see in 147 right now is Boots Ennis versus Brian Norman Jr., man. That's the fight I would love to see. Honestly, with me, it's a toss-up because as gifted as Boots Ennis is, he does get hit a lot. He gets hit a lot, and he can't afford to get hit with by a power puncher like Brian Norman, especially with those uppercuts and stuff like that. He's going to have to watch it. So it's a toss-up. I'm a fan of both fighters, man. So I can't wait. I hope that fight happens, but, these are 2 different networks, Top Rank. I know Top Rank is going through some things right now. I think they're trying to find a new network because I think their contract expires with ESPN in the summertime. So it might be a little while before that fights get made, but until then, though, they can just keep racking up victories and stuff like that, man. I think I seen something. I didn't see the whole video. I think Boots Ennis, Boots Ennis' father said something about they're not going to be waiting around. They're going to move to 154. But I think it'll be ideal for them to do, I think that's where their money is at right there. I know they You know, it's a fight that Boots can go up to 154 and fight Virgil Ortiz. But I think he has unfinished business at 147. And, you know, I think he needs to get to that, man. But other than that, though, man, yeah, man, the boxing landscape is looking good right now. A lot of champions are getting, a lot of interim champs are getting elevated up into the championship status to being the champion. Like, for instance, Dimitri Bivol vacated his belt, his WBC belt. And now David Benavidez is getting elevated to the full WBC champion. I forgot who said it. Said something about Bivol was ducking Benavidez. That's not true at all. It's not true at all. That's not true at all. Any real boxer fan know Bivol just went back and forth. He just had 2 fights with one of the hardest punching men that I've seen in my years of watching boxing, the Terminator. And you know who Artur Beterbiev. You know, some people think that he actually beat him twice. You know, but the Warrior and Dimitri Bivol, he's about to give Artur Beterbiev another shot at his title, just like Beterbiev gave him a shot after he defeated Dimitri Bivol. So it's only right. He's a real champion. He's a real fighter. He's a throwback fighter. He's not scared of David Benavidez. If you ask me, honestly, he's doing David Benavidez a favor right now because he's a champion right now, and I'm happy, you know, that he's the champion right now. I'm happy that David Benavidez is the WBC champion, but I don't think that he's ready for Bivol. I think he can be making a lot of money right now, fighting these contenders, fighting these people, the mandatories for his WBC belt, building up his brand. You know, he's a Mexican. He's going to have a great fan base. And I think he's going to be making a lot of money right now. And depending on how they promote him, if they promote him by saying this is the man that Canelo ducked or whatever, I think that, you know, he will be the man to see, the man to watch or whatever. So putting him in there right now with Dimitri Bivol, I just don't think he can beat Bivol right now. I'm not saying that he just gets dogged by Bivol or whatever because, you know, he has a chin on him. Bivol's not really known as a power puncher, but he has respectable power, though, enough that he kept Artur Beterbiev at bay or whatever. But I still think Bivol wins that fight. So I think he's doing everybody a favor by vacating his WBC belt. And hats off to Dimitri Bivol. Hats off to Dimitri Bivol for giving Artur Beterbiev, you know, a rematch, just like Beterbiev gave Bivol a rematch when he lost his first time to Beterbiev. So I'm happy about that. George Foreman, he passed, you know, a legend in the sport. Legend, the oldest heavyweight champion of all time. 45 years old when he captured the WBA championship. I think it was the IBF heavyweight championship too, and the lineal heavyweight championship of the world when he defeated Michael Moore. I remember being 9 years old and watching that fight when my stepfather at the time ordered that fight, ordered HBO just so we can watch that fight. And I didn't know what I was watching then, but, you know, watching it now, watching over the years, Jim Lampley saying it happened, him looking up to the heavens, then getting on his knees and praying, there was some monumental stuff. The way he did Joe Frazier, to take the title from Joe Frazier, was monumental. So hats off to him. To me, he's the hardest puncher of all time. I know a lot of people say Ernie Shavers and stuff like that, but, man, Foreman just had that power, and he showed it at 45 years old. I think it was in the 10th round, and he was down on all the scorecards when he fought Michael Moore. And he just hit him with a quick 1-2 and just dropped him. So that's power for me. And I'm not saying that because the man passed away. I've always said Foreman was the hardest hitter of all time. He hit Joe Frazier with an uppercut. He made him leap in the air. Dropped him 6 times in that fight. That man's power is just something else. Memorable fights, man. He had a fight with Muhammad Ali, even though he lost that fight. That was his only stoppage loss. But it was due to a lot of inexperience, too. You know, he fell into Muhammad Ali's trap with the rope-a-dope, and he fell for it, and Muhammad Ali capitalized. That's just the greatness of Ali, so there's nothing to be ashamed about losing to one of the greatest fighters of all time. So, man, yeah, man, it's just been a a crazy, few weeks. I think Shakur Stevenson, he just signed on to fight Williams Zepeda. I think that's going to be in June. I cannot wait for that fight. I'm so happy for Shakur Stevenson. If he wins this fight and if he looks dominant in this fight, this will be his signature win. This will be better for the anticipation for the fight that everybody wants to see with him and Tank. Tank has unfinished business. I think they will go on the route of facing Lamont Roach Jr. again because, he had a controversial draw. He took a knee. Which if I was the ref, I would have took a point away. I've never heard anything about your hair getting in the way and you take a knee and you get excused for that not being a knockdown. Somebody told me different when I was in the barbershop a month ago, but I've never in the boxing rules have I heard of that. So I think Gervonta Davis has to redeem himself. I think, and Lamont Roach and them, I'm not taking nothing away from Lamont Roach, not taking nothing away from him at all. He did an incredible job. He fought his fight. He stood up to Tank. But I think the rematch goes a little different. I think Tank's going to be a little more motivated. I think he's going to get Lamont Roach out of there. So, with that being said, if he makes himself look good by getting Roach up out of there, if they fight sometime this year, if that happens, I'm expecting that to happen. And if Shakur Stevenson looks good, injury-free, and he gets past Williams Zepeda, which I think he will. I think he will dominate that fight. I think he's going to make it look easy. I think Williams Zepeda is going to go in there. He's not going to see. He's going to be like just in disbelief of the footwork of Shakur Stevenson, his reflexes and stuff like that. He might have some moments and stuff, but I think he's a little too slow for Shakur Stevenson. So I see Shakur Stevenson dominating that fight. And I would like to see the showdown that everybody wants to see. Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. The fight that has to happen. So, man, that's all the time I got right now. I have a lot more things that I want to talk about, that I want to discuss, but I don't want to put it all in one video. A lot of stuff, some controversial stuff that I'm going to be bringing up to the table too, man. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys. It's been a hell of a month, but I've got my fire back, and I'm going to keep dropping videos. It's going to be on a consistent basis too, man. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. I missed y'all. I miss doing this. It's very therapeutic for me, man. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.